Let's now make our official predictions for the 2024 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. And to start off with, we've talked about the Royal Rumble matches already on the main show. So let's start off with the opening contest for what we're going to say is the four-way for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, and that is Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton versus AJ Styles versus LA Knight. Yeah, where are you going here?
Look, I think there is only one way to go here. Three very good number one contenders, three very, very hot number one contenders. But how can you ever go past Roman Reigns? He is the undisputed champion. We're going to be seeing him defending at WrestleMania. I don't see him dropping it. Hopefully not against The Rock, but nevertheless, I don't see any of these other three taking the strap off of him. I'm going with Roman Reigns.
Yes. If I've learned anything over these last 3 years is you don't bet against the tribal chief. And when we're only a couple months away from WrestleMania, you certainly don't bet against the tribal chief. Yeah, I'm with you. I think Roman's gonna win this. And we've been saying it in previous weeks, but I like that because it's a fatal four-way, it feels like there is a way to protect the other guys here, unless Roman stacks them all up and does a triple pin,
Oh
which
God, I hope not.
he won't do it. To be honest, I think Randy and LA Knight on their own are just too big to then add a third person to do a stacked pin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Roman will win. He'll get by the skin of his teeth, and he's gonna, depending on who wins the Rumble or who sets up their match against him at Mania, they're gonna build up this thing of the clock is ticking.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, from one heel champion to another, we've got Logan Paul defending the United States Championship against Kevin Owens. This is a very weird match for me, to be honest, in terms of what to predict, because on the one hand, you think maybe a guy like Logan Paul will hold on to it until Mania. But on the other hand, you think maybe give it to the more experienced champion, like the more experienced star to be champion going into Mania and hold that title. So for me, I find this a really awkward match to predict because I can definitely actually see it going either way. For you, though, where are you leaning?
I'm definitely leaning more in one way than the other. Look, Kevin Owens is my favorite wrestler on this roster prior to the return of CM Punk. Those two are my top two. And as much as I would love to see Kevin Owens with gold around his waist again, I'd rather it just be world title gold because he's already held the US title three times. So I think he's in here as the first defense for Logan Paul to put on a really good US title match on North American soil. So I think he's actually going to win this one. They'll hopefully have a good match because Kevin Owens knows how to lead and Logan Paul knows how to follow. Because I think that the blow off is going to be at WrestleMania with Logan Paul putting over LA Knight. So I think he needs to hold on to the strap in order to get to WrestleMania as like a big heel, very hated, very protected and sheltered, as Kevin Owens called him on television, and then drop the title to LA Knight.
I can't fault anything that you said. I'm just purely based on the fact that I'm not convinced that Logan wants to keep going. At least, well, we can't bank on Logan Paul being available. I imagine WrestleMania is probably one of those shows that he would want to be at, but just for the sheer fact of uncertainty, I'm going for Kevin Owens, who I think is a bit the safer bet.
Okay.
And also, like, it's been a little while since Kevin Owens had singles gold, so it might be nice to see him back in that top
Yeah.
spot. All right, well, the next match we've got is the Women's Royal Rumble. Obviously, there are 30 potential winners here, so there's a lot to predict from, and we don't even know exactly who might feature, but I think I know where you're leaning, but why you walk us through your prediction?
Well, anyone who is listening on the main show will already know that I think that the final four are going to be Bailey, Asuka, Chelsea Green, and then Nia Jax. And my guess is that of these, the only clear favorite is going to be Bailey. I think that she's going to have some kind of a confrontation with Asuka. I don't think she's actually going to eliminate Asuka. I think they're going to team up, because I don't think that this is going to be the climax at the moment. I think that she's going to win purely gritty, with no other opposition, and then in the lead up to WrestleMania, it's going to be teasers in Damage Control, where she's like, "Don't worry, I'm going to go against Rhea. I'm going to pick Rhea. I'm going to go against her. Just give me until after Elimination Chamber to do it." And then she's going to turn on Io Sky and challenge her at WrestleMania. And I've said it before, kind of like Batista, when Evolution was encouraging Batista in 2005 to go for the WWE title at WrestleMania 21, and then eventually he gave the thumbs down. I think something similar is going to happen for Bayley. So that's my prediction.
I really think Bailey is a strong shout. Probably my strongest shout. But the beauty of these prediction videos, Thanasi, is that I usually just go off impulse in the moment, what I'm thinking at that exact time. And in the main show, as we discuss things, the more I thought about it, the more I was speculating her performance in this match, the more I thought, crap, this might be the first time that a monster person wins the Women's Rumble, which is why I'm predicting Nia Jax.
Wow.
I I'm as surprised as you are. I didn't think I would get to this point, but I just think that one of the beauties of the Rumble is that they always sell the David versus Goliath story.
Mhm.
And sometimes Goliath needs to win to actually show how difficult that is. And I think this is going to be one of those cases where Nia Jax comes in relatively late and clears house. They will have a valiant effort from one of the last four wrestlers left to try and eliminate them potentially even on their own and really do a good job. But then eventually Nia Jax just ruins the party. And I think that it will be okay to have this end if this women's match goes before the men's. Because I think the men's is going to finish on a really high note. So the women's, you can maybe experiment a bit more.
Like a
Obviously,
heel
obviously,
going in there.
yeah, obviously Bailey would probably be a bit more of a favorite winner, same as Becky Lynch, same as maybe someone like Asuka or whatever again. But I have that weird feeling in the back of my mind that Nia Jax is actually going to pull it off. But I still think at Mania, she would challenge Rhea Ripley and potentially Becky Lynch would find a way to win the chance as well to be in
Okay.
that match. So
Yeah.
it's a bit of a convoluted, odd prediction of mine, but I think Nia Jax is going to get the win in that match. And finally, Thanasi, it is time for the men's Royal Rumble prediction. Probably the most anticipated men's Royal Rumble in maybe 10 years. The last time in 2014, when people thought Daniel Bryan would win it and he didn't even show up. That's
Oh,
probably the last
yes.
time people were this excited about this match. So there's a lot of possibilities here, but where do you think this match is going to go? Who do you think is going to get that win and book their place for a World Championship match at WrestleMania 40?
Well, we discussed once again on the main show. I think that the four favorites that you and I have discussed would be, in alphabetical order: Gunter, Punk, Gunter, McIntyre, Punk, and Rhodes. And of course, I said before, Kevin Owens is my favorite wrestler ahead of the return of CM Punk in November. And CM Punk, I believe, is going to complete his narrative, his long, long story arc, not complete his story, by winning the Royal Rumble, something he didn't do in his original run in the WWE. He won the Money in the Bank, but not the Royal Rumble. I think he's going to do it, and I think he's going to defeat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania in the main event of WrestleMania. I hope it's going to be night two, but I think they're going to put it in night one. But nevertheless, in order for him to get there, he needs to win the Royal Rumble. I don't see Cody Rhodes winning again because he did so last year, and he's got the Elimination Chamber match to get into Roman for WrestleMania in Philadelphia. McIntyre, I could see as a really good contender, but just not quite getting that victory. I think the other two are much, much bigger. and then Gunther can have a confrontation with Brock Lesnar in the Rumble, having their setup for the IC title at WrestleMania. These are the four that I see as the most likely to happen. Over to you.
Well, Tennessee, I'm predicting something that WWE has reported on that hasn't happened in 26 years, and that is a winner winning back-to-back Rumbles. Because I'm predicting the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, to win it. I think Punk is obviously the strongest shout. He has the appeal of actually being a new winner as well, which
Mm-hmm.
for a guy that's been around for so long, that actually is quite surprising.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is. But I don't know. I just think Cody's going to do it, and that he's going to have that internal drama, that internal monologue of, do I go for the weakened Seth Rollins, a person who I have history with, and try and completely uh, win comfortably, or even just steal the title away from him and finally complete my story? Or do I go for the vengeance arc? Do I go to get my payback, to go fully complete and challenge Roman Reigns again and try and win it finally and win the title that he truly wants, which is the WWE
That's
Universal
right.
title, but the WWE title.
That's the one he wants.
And I think the other thing that's guiding my opinion here is purely that I've heard that Punk has actually been announced for the Elimination Chamber show in Perth.
He
And that
has.
just makes me think that if he's going to win the Rumble, then potentially there's no need for him to wrestle on that show unless it's just a weird like mini feud match. So I have speculation that maybe he's going to be in an Elimination Chamber number one contenders match of some sort. I don't know, but I have a feeling with Cody, so I'm backing him.
Good logic all round.
We'll see how things go this weekend at the Royal Rumble.
We certainly will.